Me and Joey are here to talk about Batman v Superman: The Dawn of Justice. This is not spoiler free. This is our discussion on what we thought of the film. There will be spoilers aplenty. So, spoilers, haven't seen the movie, don't want spoilers, leave.
Or if you want spoilers, go ahead and watch. We don't care.
Yeah,
But don't complain to us when you hear plot
No,
points.
feel free to leave angry comments below about how I ruined the movie for you, even though I clearly said spoilers and spoilers and... Okay, now that I gave a spoiler warning,
Last chance.
the first hour and a half, you can say, is just...
The first hour and a half, apart from the dream sequence, was pretty well straight. And that was easy to keep up with. When it got a little bit further, it just kind of like...
Well, they open up on for the opening credits, it's the death of the Waynes. It's the best shot, as in the way it's framed, version of the deaths we ever had.
I love when the gun cocked back on Martha Wayne's necklace, that when it...
Also, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is the first Thomas Wayne to actually look like comic book Thomas Wayne, and I really hope that they do a version of the Flashpoint storyline, just so I can see Jeffrey Dean Morgan play the Thomas Wayne Batman, because that would be fucking epic.
When the gun cocked back, Martha Wayne's necklace actually was pearls, and it destroyed the necklace. So you had the parts of the pearls just dropping all over the place.
Yeah, which they used intercut with him finding the cave, so it's him falling into the cave as her pearls fall, which I actually thought was very cool.
And then it went all kinds of what the hell was going on.
And then everyone
here.
like in the theaters going, "Oh, what the hell?" While bats surround Bruce and they're spinning, and he starts floating up. I'm like, "Oh, this is clearly a dream sequence."
This is Bat Jesus.
Bruce Wayne's perspective of Metropolis, fantastic sequence.
That was tense. You have Bruce Wayne being flown into Metropolis, dropped off, and he's making a beeline
He
for
jumps
Wayne Tower
into a
in Metropolis.
security SUV and just like 90 miles an hour down to it, and it adds up perfectly. I watched Man of Steel right before going to the theater, and it adds up perfectly to the destruction of Man of Steel. There's this girl whose parents are killed in the collapse because Bruce is like, where's your, she's like, my mommy. He's like, where's your mommy? And she points up to where the top of the building used to be. And why that scene worked so well for me is the reason Bruce is Batman is so what happened to him as a kid, losing his parents, doesn't happen to anybody else. And it was Superman's fault. Because Superman, in Man of Steel, it's his fault that Zod comes. It's when he finds the Kryptonian ship that's been crashed on Earth for thousands of years. There's a beacon that lets Zod know that that's where Kal-El is. So I think that all works really well. Bruce Wayne's not exactly justified in his beliefs, but it's believable. It gets you sucked in, and it makes you... If you were somebody who was against the destruction that happened in Man of Steel, it will make you okay with the fact they made that choice in Man of Steel, because they really do build this entire movie off that one sequence.
Yeah.
And and him killing Zod. Those are the two most important things to Superman's arc and this story. Lois Lane is over in like Africa to meet with a terrorist, and what turns out the CIA used her job to backpack in to spy on the terrorist. There's this guy there and he has a camera. Is that going to be Jimmy Olsen? I mean, like, he looks cool and he's, kind of ripped, but, he kind of dressed like I would expect modern day Jimmy Olsen to wear. He has the camera, and then they take the camera apart and they break it, and there's a little beaker in there, like a little
beacon
tracker. And I'm like, oh, that is Jimmy Olsen. And they just shot in the head. I'm like, what the fuck? People who turn out to be Lex Luthor's soldiers just start shooting him on the fucking head. And Superman comes in, and a very interesting idea comes out after this.
Basically, it was...
Does Superman cause more problems than he creates? Other countries hate him because he destroys political boundaries.
Well, also in this particular scene, though, it was implied that Superman was the one to kill other people. It wasn't the case.
Well, yeah, Superman doesn't kill the people. They blame it on him, but that's not what I'm getting at. It's the ideas that they raise that Superman might actually be more bad, not as a character or as his goals or his ideas, but what he does for the world and
acting
politics.
without oversight.
And there's a point with the storyline from that he goes to court, and then and they bring it up, and they're getting really into it. She's like, there's this African woman's like, he doesn't listen to anybody, not even God. And I'm like, that's interesting. That's an interesting idea because Superman is a god to people, But they blow up the Capitol building. It was the Capitol building.
The backstory on that was there's an individual that used to work for Wayne Tech or Wayne Finance,
Who
whichever.
loses his legs.
I think it was Wayne Finance guy.
Wayne Finance guy loses his legs because
Lex Luthor wanted to get at Superman, decides
Yeah.
to help this guy out, and he gives him his fancy wheelchair, and he's called as a witness to this. Superman shows up at the Capitol, which surprised everyone. They didn't think he was going to show up. And when he's in there, the individual, there's a conversation earlier on with this lead senator from Kentucky, the least of this group, and
big budget movies hate Kentucky.
And the situation was, Luthor and her were talking. Luthor wanted to bring in this piece of kryptonite, which she blocked, but Luthor found another way to get in anyways. And she said, "You can call pee or piss, something iced tea, whatever."
Granny's peach tea, which is actually very funny. Luther's put a bomb in the guy's wheelchair that gave him.
But she starts stammering when she looks over there and sees what we first thought was some moonshine, because being Kentucky.
But it's a bottle of piss, which is the first. It's a mason jar of piss.
Yeah.
Which is the first time I'm like, that is something Lex Luthor would do. That's psychological. But then the place blew up, and I wasn't expecting that.
But she's getting more and more stammering. Superman isn't getting what's going on. She's looking at where Luthor's supposed to sit, and she's not in there.
It's something somebody pointed out to me later was Marcy, who has always been like the female sidekick to Lex. She was a dumb Bilbo in the original Superman movies, but she's been in most Superman stuff.
Yeah.
The 90s cartoon, the comics, Young Justice. She's a big part.
Yeah.
She blows up in the courtroom. And it makes me wonder if they're going to go like full comic book and the next time you see her, she'll just be a fucking robot and she was actually a robot the entire time. Because, it is LexCorp. And I kind of hope they do that because I want it to be more comic booky and not try to be all Dark Knight.
But so at the end of this, you have a Superman standing there. And he is full of freaking regret. The dude's like, I didn't see this coming.
My biggest wish to ever see in a Superman movie was... There's a storyline in the comics where a girl, I think it's a girl that he knows, commits suicide, and it's because he can't be everywhere at once and he can't always save lives. And they kind of tackle that storyline. And I was really happy when they brought it up. I'm like, oh my god. They're bringing up the whole political stuff, which would be really interesting. That's never been done in a Superman movie. And they're going to do this thing where he can't save everybody. That's never been done in a Superman movie. They kind of tackled it in Man of Steel, but it was towards the end of the movie, so now they can actually go with it. My favorite shot in the entire movie is right after the Capitol building explodes. He is standing there, tears rolling down his face.
Flames everywhere.
Flames surrounding him. And I went, fuck, they're doing it. They're doing it. Next scene, he talks to Lois for like 5 minutes, storyline's dropped. That is not explored enough. Because in the movie, he is not Superman for months. They even say he goes missing.
Yeah, Superman goes
off. But this
off
is what it is.
Reflect.
Superman goes off, he goes missing. There's a scene of him in the Arctic. He saves Lois. Boom, boom, boom. That's months. And it's like 10 minutes apart in the movie. It is ridiculous.
Back to the scene with him when shot to the Lois. He says, I didn't see it. Not Batman. Superman was so focused on the court case doing what he felt was the right thing to do.
That he wasn't listening, he wasn't seeing. And it is a powerful moment. The conversation with Lois is a good scene.
Lois is trying to contact Clark multiple times, but he's not answering. And then finally she looks out there and there's just Superman standing there, head down, leaning against the railing, just like a battered and just confused man.
Well, and another thing I liked about it, with Lois, is I didn't like Amy Adams in Man of Steel. I didn't like her. I didn't think she was a good Lois Lane. I have no problem with Amy Adams. She's a good actress. I just didn't like her as Lois Lane. I still don't think she's the perfect casting for Lois Lane. I still think there's many actresses out there who did better.
She's improved some, though.
But I think she actually improved a lot. I think her storyline really doesn't make sense, and I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into her plot. But her storyline, you're watching this, you've probably seen the movie. But what I do like is I do make her Superman's focus, the thing that can keep Superman from snapping, the thing that keeps him that's what she is in the comics.
Yeah.
She's his rock, because in the comics when she died, no one stays dead in comics, he kind of went woo-doo-doo-doo-doo. The Clark and Lois in this are written very much like the 1980s Man of Steel run, which is one of my favorite versions of Superman. And Henry Cavill, who I thought was amazing in the first movie, but not used right, he is as much Superman to me now as Christopher Reeve.
And he does a great Clark Kent. I thought he would too after watching.
Oh, I love his Clark Kent because it's not the bumbling idiot, because the bumbling idiot wouldn't work now.
Yeah.
And nothing against Christopher Reeve.
Well, no,
I love
I'm trying to remember which film
idiot.
it was recently. It was Henry Cavill. I believe it was a spy drama.
It was the film adaptation of the TV show Man from Uncle.
Yeah, and when I saw how he played in that character in that role in that movie, I figured, okay, I can see definitely how he can be a great Clark Kent along with the great Superman.
The first movie, the way they told the origin didn't allow us to see it, and I liked what they did. I liked how they did Clark. He was the in-your-face journalist that he is in the comics, and I love that. I love that he pieces together who Batman is like that. I mean, it kind of helps that he hears the thing in Batman's ear, but they didn't make him an idiot. They didn't make him like a bumbling idiot. Like
yeah, he's also slightly defiant too. There was times where he was writing about Gotham in the.
This is the Clark Kent that when I first started reading Superman comics, this was the Superman Clark Kent that I was. I mean, my first introduction to Superman is the '90s cartoon and the Christopher Reeve movies, but when I actually started reading the comics, which was only like 10 years ago, because Superman was a character as a kid, besides for the movie and the cartoon, I always thought he was just a stupid Boy Scout until I actually read the comics. Which is why anytime anyone bashes Superman to me and I ask them, have you read the comics? They go, no. I go, shut the fuck up because you don't know shit about the character. Superman does not get enough screen time. That is my biggest complaint with this movie. I wish there was more Superman because he kind of gets sidelined in the mix. I think Lois gets more fucking screen time than Superman does.
She gets seen first.
She gets seen first, and I think you see her more. Batman's fucking fantastic in this. We talked about Bruce Wayne's opening scenes, but he just hates Superman because...
And he gets a little worried when he finds out there's more people like Superman. That quite alien,
he sees
but...
Superman as a threat. He pieces together who Wonder Woman is. He finds this stupid bullcrap file that has stupid, crappy filmed videos of all the Justice... fucking stupid cameo appearances. But there was the cool one with Flash from the future running back in time.
That was a dream sequence, but that one was a very weird dream sequence.
Yeah,
it was almost like
Flash. Him seeing Flash from the future wasn't a dream sequence. That was Flash in front of him.
Okay, and he's just telling Superman, "Look for Lois Lane." Not Superman, Batman. Look at Lois Lane.
Lois Lane is the key. You're always right about him. But I'm wondering if he was meaning you were always right about Superman, or if he was always right about somebody else. He never says you're always right about Superman. He just says you're always right about him. I like that Flash showing up in this is one of the reasons he goes to fight Superman, because he feels more validated in his belief now, like even more validated.
Because this person show up in his Batcave randomly, just holy crap! Like what are you doing here?
Ben Affleck may be the best Batman. Batman's arc was amazing because he starts off 100% sure what he's doing is right, and he plans on straight killing Superman. That's his plan. He's going to kill Superman.
We have a Batman who has went to the point where he's branding the criminals he's found.
When he realizes he fucked up, it's a powerful scene. He realizes he fucked up. He realizes everything that he's thought about Superman, he's wrong.
Now the way they handle it was a sort of weird, but it's still a moment where Batman's like, "Oh crap."
I fucking hated Lex Luthor for the first half of this movie. The first time he was on screen, I was cussing. I was sitting in my seat going, fuck, what the fuck, holy shit, you fucking dick. Literally.
The whole part of him is at the library, just like stuttering, going off on weird rabbit trails. Which gives Bruce Wayne time to go purge his system for some data.
Jerry. Fuck. But, as the movie progresses, from the point he starts making Doomsday, he starts to become less annoying. From the point he kidnaps Martha on, he's fine.
He kidnaps Lois Lane, sort of. He throws her off the building.
Superman would show up because he's been missing for a while.
Superman saves her, and then he goes to contact her, confront him.
Yeah, which is a great scene.
And then Lex is like, well, you're the woman. It's like, Lois Lane is far away, not her. Her.
It's a great scene because Superman gets there and he's like, I'm taking you to prison and you're lucky that's all I do to you. Consider this a mercy. And he's like, you can't do that. I have your girl. She's safe on the ground. Yeah, Lois, what about your mother? And Superman loses it and almost uses his heat vision on Lex until Lex goes, you don't want to do that. You kill me, she dies. Oh, yeah. And you don't kill Batman, she dies. You gotta go kill Batman.
Oh yeah, by the way, you need to have at least 5 minutes in this conversation.
He gets Superman to bow in front of him, to submit to him, and he has this whole speech about how he is a man and now God has bowed before him. And Superman doesn't believe in killing in 1, and 2, he's already had to kill. He had to kill Zod. He had to kill Zod. And to save his mom, he would have to kill Batman. And what I love is he flies down calmly, is like, hey, I need your... And then Batman's like, fuck you! Brrr! Motherfucker, die! But a lot of people have complained about the fight not being fair. I don't agree, because actually...
It was definitely one-sided, though. Don't get us
That's not
wrong.
true. I don't agree. It starts off, Batman's in the lead.
Yeah.
Batman takes it.
And then Superman takes him to the building.
Batman takes him, gets him slowed down. And then the stuff that he's done to him wears off. Superman just goes, and Batman goes, literally there's a scene where Batman goes, walks slowly away, and Superman just grabs him, throws him through like 4 walls, and then like starts beating the shit out of Batman. And then Batman gasses him with kryptonite again, gets the upper hand. Superman gets the upper hand, then he gets the spear, and that's when he gets the final upper hand of Superman. It literally goes back, forth, back,
and
forth,
there was a moment
where
Batman had weared Superman down enough where he actually threw him down the multiple floors, like there was like this tall building,
yes.
and like there's like this stairwell area. And he threw him down this hole practically.
So,
With
and there's a
Riddler.
great scene in The Dark Knight Returns where he's standing with his boot on Superman's throat, and that's when he delivers the famous line, I want you to remember in all your private moments, as long as you deliver whatever he says, I'm the one man who could beat you, which is not in the movie because it wouldn't fit the storyline, because he's going to kill him, not just tell him to leave him the fuck alone. And he has a spear, he's about to just shove it through Superman's chest, and he goes, you're letting them kill Martha. A lot of people have bitched Superman wouldn't call his mom Martha. It's a cool scene, and when Lois runs in and she's like, it's his mother, and he's like, oh, Superman's just like me. He has a family. He has people that cares about him. Oh fuck, I was wrong. And then Doomsday shows up.
The famous line where he says, "Tell me, do you bleed? You will." We do get the come around for it.
Yeah,
where
he cuts Superman's face. And what I like is a lot of people don't like Doomsday's even being in this movie, but I don't think Doomsday is a strong enough storyline to carry its own film, because Doomsday was a giant battle, Superman died, and the storyline was great because everything that happened after Superman died before he came back. And you cannot do that storyline. It's too big an epic scope to ever do in a movie. The reason actually Lex Luthor started to work for me towards the second half was it is the evolution of Lex Luthor. If you read the original Superman comics from the late 30s, early 40s, the early appearances of Lex, he was an over-the-top long-haired ginger mad scientist. And that's what we get in the movie. We get the original Lex Luthor. We get the long-haired mad scientist. Doomsday does destroy like a little bit of some buildings of Metropolis, but it's not like a big destruction. People have been saying the destruction on this is even more overblown than in the Man of Steel, and that's just, I don't understand. Like, that's just people trying to complain, because what happens is the spear that he was going to kill Superman with, Lois throws into a pool, which only happened to make it more dramatic that the spear was at the bottom of a pool.
And give another reason why Lois Lane needs to
That
save.
didn't need to happen. Superman immediately grabs Doomsday, flies him right into space.
Yeah.
And I love that because it showed Superman learned his lesson from Man of Steel. It showed.
He was getting out of the way.
But one of my favorite parts of The Dark Knight Returns is when Superman gets hit by the nuke, he turns into like this skeletal corpse. They show that in the movie, and it made me happy. And Doomsday crashes down where Blackgate Prison should be in the comics, the island that's in between Metropolis and Gotham. Right near Doomsday is highly populated area of Gotham, highly populated area of Metropolis. Batman goes, oh no, we need the spear. So he's like, I'm going to lead him to where there isn't people and where the spear's at. Because Batman made sure when he was going to kill Superman that it wouldn't be where civilians were at. He was doing it in what would be called, is referred to as Old Gotham in the comics, which is abandoned. And
it's also a port area too.
Yeah, it's just abandoned. It's like abandoned. Yeah. If anyone's there, it's going to be a few homeless, which is a few people compared to millions. That's kind of the thing. So he brings them there, and they fight, and a lot of like the abandoned buildings get destroyed. But it's not like Metropolis where you're watching people get lit. It's not like Man of Steel where you're watching people get pulled from the ground. Diana Prince's entire story plot is Lex has a picture of her as Wonder Woman. She wants it back. Oh, and then Doomsday shows up. She's like, you know what? I gotta be Wonder Woman again. Wonder Woman!
Her song was interesting when she showed up. It was very, very kind of tribal.
In your face! Doomsday is the death of Superman storyline. I went to this movie 100% not expecting it. 100%.
I cried a little bit, but I realized, but Cavill's back, so he's coming back for the next movie, so I can't cry.
He talks to Lois, and he's pretty much, he has to grab the kryptonite, which is going to hurt him for even holding it. And he's like, I have to do this. Wonder Woman has like chopped open Doomsday where he can stab it and kill him. And
which is good for a very weakened Superman.
He flies, he goes, him and Doomsday stab each other, so it's very iconic to how it happened in the comics, except they weren't stabbing each other, just punching each other till they died. They stab each other, they both die, and I was like, you guys are fooling me. Superman's about to get up. Why is Batman and Wonder Woman look so depressed? Superman's going to get up. He's like,
why is Batman picking up Superman to drop him Wonder Woman?
Why are we fading to black? What's going on? Why am I getting sad? Why is there tears? Why am I hearing a military funeral? What's going on? Why am I seeing a black coffin with Superman symbol on it? Oh my god, no! I've always wanted to see the death of Superman done on screen, and I think they actually handled it well. His coffin was all black with the Superman symbol, which was S.
Yeah.
When he came back from the dead, it was when he wore the black costume with the silver S. I was like,
Back to speaking of the memorials, in the fight with Doomsday straight up threw Superman through his own statue.
Yeah, he did. That did happen. That did happen. And something I loved when you see the Superman memorial after he's dead, not the statue, but the memorial. It's spray painted on it. When you're here, look around you. That's spray painted on his memorial in the comics. I was like, holy shit. I mean, it's a very flawed movie. I mean, as a movie itself, this is probably like a C plus.
He said B.
Let me get to why I personally give it a B minus. As a film, it's the second half is really enjoyable, and the first 15 minutes
so
are really enjoyable.
Everything on the front and the end is fine, but the middle is kind of
I've heard from almost everybody who has seen it twice that it's a lot better second viewing. For me, as a comic book fan, Zack Snyder cared more about me than the general audience. And yes, I'm a movie buff. I criticize films. So a lot of things irked me about it. But the last 45 minutes is pretty much what I've always wanted to see in a DC movie. So much stuff I've always wanted to see, even if it wasn't dealt with as much as I'd like to have seen it, is in the film. And I loved it for that reason. This is made for comic book fans. If you don't read the comics, you've never seen the cartoons of any of these characters, you'll go, what the fuck did I watch?
Another thing I found interesting was the thing with the lead editor
Barry
White, lead editor.
Perry.
What?
Perry
White.
Sorry, huge fan of comics.
And he is looking at the next printed newspaper for the Daily Planet, and he just completely rips off the front cover with Superman's death
of Superman on it.
And goes to the part where it said the Daily Planet editor writer Clark Kent has died in the Gotham attack.
Which is why you definitely know he knows that they're one and the same. Final scene of this movie, I think, was the perfect final scene. In The Dark Knight Returns, which just takes more than a few inspirations from, but what it is Batman faces death, so they bury him. But then Superman can hear his heart slowly beating faster. He smirks at Robin and walks out of the cemetery. What they do in this is Wonder Woman and Bruce are at the Smallville actual funeral for where his body's being buried.
Yeah.
At the funeral, of course, Batman doesn't have super hearing, so he's not going to hear the heartbeat. But what they do is you just hear a little heartbeat. And you hear it getting louder and louder. And then it goes dead. And then it goes to a shot where you're sitting on, pretty much as a shot, like sitting on top of the coffin. You see the dirt rise up, like a heartbeat causes it to rise up. Credits.
Yeah.
Perfect way to end it. And a lot of people are complaining, they should have waited to bring Superman back from the dead and blah, blah, blah. They should have waited to Justice League.
We can't need him alive at that point.
Well, if you know the comics, you know Superman doesn't stay dead. So it's really no big deal that they show you he's not dead. 2. Wonder Woman, Justice League. Next year. No Superman and Wonder Woman. He'll be in Justice League. So quit saying they should have brought him back in Justice League. You won't see him again until Justice League. Overall, what would you give the film?
I give the film a B minus because it was not as bad as people said it was. It was definitely scatterbrained. I don't say it's crap, but definitely wasn't perfect.
Once again, Joey has joined me for a video, and this was our spoiler talk on Batman v Superman. Go see the goddamn movie. Have fun with it. Go see it. I have no idea how in these videos, so just stuff.
Bye.